Call the meeting to order, 4:30. Start us out. Roll call. Bob, you want to start us?
Bacon present.
Fig present.
Zalad here.
Keequam here.
Milky here.
Coin here.
Brown's here.
Sweet here.
Seeing a quorum present. We'll go on with agenda item number 3, approval of tonight's agenda.
I'll make a motion.
Support.
Motion by Coin, support by Sweet to approve tonight's agenda. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same. Hearing no opposition, the agenda is approved. Moving on to agenda item number 4, approval of minutes from June 20th, regular meeting. How those look?
Motion to approve the minutes presented.
Second.
Motion by Bars, support by Milky to approve the June 20th regular meeting minutes. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, the same. The meeting minutes are approved. On to agenda item number 5. Correspondence. Nothing there?
No, we just included in the packet a copy of the notice that went out for our informational meetings, just so you're aware of it.
Okay.
I will not be here on the 25th. I should be here the 15th.
Are they the same meetings, Rodney, or are they two different meetings?
Well, we have to hold the same informational meeting twice, so yes, the content will be identical in both meetings.
So do we have to come to both of them, or just come to one of them?
We need a quorum.
Well, we have to have a quorum, and we have to hold both of them.
Right. Okay.
Typically, if we have any attendance from the taxing jurisdictions, which is the primary audience for these meetings, it's usually at the first one. But I have not heard from anybody yet as to whether they're planning to come.
Oh,
But,
I gotta look in.
but per the state act, we have to hold both of them, so we would need a quorum at both.
right.
Moving on to item 6, public comment. Anybody? Nobody online? Okay, let's go on to item 7, reports. 7A, accounts payable.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Afternoon.
Let's start with the East DDA accounts payable. We have a payment to Consumers Energy for $345.68. And we also have a payment to Block Electric for $630. This was to install Outreach banners. And then we have a payment to Union Township for the second quarter utility billing for $2,231.58. That's for the water along Pickard. And then we have a payment to Mid-Michigan Cable Consortium for $367.50. This is for the annual video recording contract for these meetings. And then we have a payment to Pleasant Time Herb Farm for $2,950. This is to weed and water the plants for May and June of this year. And then we have a payment to Teelan Turf Irrigation for $4,334. And this is for the Pickard Street irrigation startup and different repairs done this spring. And then we have another payment to Union Township Sewer Fund. Excuse me. This is for the for $160,000 That's for the contribution to the sewer pump station #1 project to help with the funding on that. So we have a total accounts payable for the East DDA of $170,858.76. Are there any questions?
Does, obviously consumers must charge us a minimum per meter?
There's no
They do.
1090.
They do.
Per meter. Yeah. 'Cause
They-
there's no juice being used on those.
Right, they charge for
Because
the.
they're gone.
They charge for like the infrastructure, it's a connection, basically, because we're still connected,
Yep.
yes.
And I'm guessing it's $10.90.
Yeah.
Be my guess.
I did a double take on that too. I'm like,
Yeah.
why are we paying? I was thinking we wouldn't get a bill, but we did.
Oh, no.
I was
Thank you.
Yep.
kind of thinking the same thing with the weed and water.
Yeah, but those are after.
What are you
the-
watering?
It's less than normal, but we still have quite a bit of.
Yeah, the north and south.
Yeah.
And kind of in front of the movie theater too, there's flowers.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, as long as that's kind of prorated.
Make a motion to approve the East DDA payables.
Support.
Got a motion by Melky, support by Fig. To approve the East DDA payables. Hearing no more questions. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same. And motion carried.
Okay, moving on to the West DDA accounts payable, we just have one check to the Mid-Michigan Cable Consortium for $367.50. That's for the recording of this meeting. You can see that it's split equally between East and West DDA, the cost of that, so.
Make a motion that we accept the payables as presented for the West DDA.
Support.
Motion by Fig, support by Sweet. To approve the West DDA payables. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same. The motion is approved.
Okay, and then let's move on to our East DDA financials, the revenue and expenditure report. If you look at the revenues, you can see that we're at about 93% of the budget. And then with the expenditures, we're at about 19% of budget. And then on the balance sheet, your cash, your total assets is about 2.3 million, and fund balance is about 2.3 million for the East DDA. And all of the payables that you approved are posted here on the revenue and expenditure report. Are there any questions on those reports? If not, moving on to the West DDA. Looking at your revenue and expenditure report for the West DDA, the revenues are at about 100% of budget, and your total expenditures are at about 43% of budget. And looking at your balance sheet, total assets and cash are about 1.1 million, a little under 1.2 million, and your total fund balance is a little under 1.2 million as well. Are there any questions? If not,
No questions?
all right, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So we'll let the record know the financials were presented and filed. And I see 7C, got the board member matrix with the board expiration dates on it for your review. Moving on to item 8, new business. 8A, adoption of budget amendment.
Okay, let's review the budget amendment proposed for approval at this meeting. This is for, we'll start with the East DDA. Once this is approved by by this board, it should be noted that it will go to the Board of Trustees for approval at their meeting next week on July 26th. So in the revenue area for the East DDA, we're increasing the budget 9,000. This is for the state aid revenue that we expect to be higher this year than we originally thought. That one's kind of hard to guess until we fill out the report and send it to the state for the year. And then we have the budget for interest earned. We're increasing that 51,400, and that's due to higher interest rates. And then moving on to the expenditures, we're increasing the budget for 10,500 for the bulk digitization that you approved at a previous meeting. And we're also increasing the budget $300 due to rising costs for the insurance coverage. We're seeing a lot of rising costs because of inflation in all areas. And then we're also decreasing the budget $100,000 for the Somerton Road Sewer Extension engineering plan. It's looking like we're not going to get anything done on that until next fiscal year, 2024. And then we're also increasing the budget $172,000 for the Pickard Street Light Foundation upgrade with J-Rank Electric that you approved at a previous in a previous meeting.
Sherry, that was for the north side, is that correct? Was that for the north side?
South side.
South side.
The south side? Okay. Or 170, we're not talking about painting or anything, that's still deferred, okay. All right.
Okay, and then we are decreasing the budget $75,000 for the irrigation reconstruction project. Because the work has to wait until the construction on Pickard Road is complete, and we expect that to happen in 2024 as well. And then we're increasing the budget $13,000 for improvements to the property on Yachts Drive that were not completed in 2022. The project was completed in 2023, so we need a little extra budget there. So the resulting net impact of the budget amendment is to increase projected year-end fund balance by $39,600 compared to the existing budget. Are there any questions on any of that before I move on to the West DDA? Okay, moving on to the West DDA. In the revenue area, we're increasing the budget for the state aid revenue $1,800, and that's for the grant that we expect to receive from the state of Michigan for the lost personal property tax revenue. That report was filed with the state in June. The budget for interest earned is increased $22,400 due to higher interest rates. And moving on to the expenditures, we're increasing the budget $10,500 for the bulk digitization of the West DDA records. And we're decreasing the budget $40,000 for the East Remus Road streetscape streetlight projects. That will likely begin in 2024 instead of this year. And we're increasing the fire protection budget $1,800 to account for the actual amounts captured and returned per the agreement. So the resulting net impact of the budget amendment is to increase projected year-end fund balance by $51,900 compared to the existing original budget. Are there any questions on this budget amendment?
For the West DDA, the state aid revenue, but I don't see a line item in the sheet that was in the packet today. Just as far as what was already budgeted. The West had it for, I think, 60,000,
There was a zero. It's because it was zero.
just because it was zero.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yep.
Yeah, we didn't get any last year, did we?
We got 300 last year, but we didn't budget because I
Yeah,
always
it's-
think, there's been a lot of years where it's been zero.
Yep, nope, I remember
So-
asking that question before.
Yep.
Thank you.
And that's not, we applied for it in June, but it's not received until, I want to say November is when we receive it. So that's why you'll see a zero in the year-to-date balance. It's because we haven't actually received it yet.
I didn't even see the line item in the West. Right?
It's,
Okay, the property tax.
it's
Property tax
up at the
refunds.
top. It's account number 250-000-573-000.
Oh, you're looking on these sheets.
Yep.
Okay, I was just looking at the balance sheets we had. My apologies.
Oh.
Yep, thank you.
Oh, yeah, sorry, it's kind of all added, on those
Yes.
lines, it's added
It's
in,
the
all added
addition.
together.
Yep, that makes sense. Thank
Yep.
you.
Yep. Pages 18 through 21 are nice spreadsheets of the subject matter.
I want to thank you for not waiting. Typically, this kind of stuff waits until November before we close out our books, so it's always nice to have up-to-date numbers, as you go through the year. So
Yeah.
obviously, you just got your numbers to be able to, but to count for all that, that's great. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
All right.
And we'll do another budget amendment in November also.
You have to do 2 a year, right? Is that required, isn't it required?
It's not required,
It isn't required,
no.
but we just have a position, we do it twice. We do a budget amendment twice, or
Yeah,
June or July, whatever, and then
yeah.
before the end of the year.
Yep, that's good practice. Make a motion to give authorization is hereby given to amend the fiscal year 2023 budget for the East and West DDA funds in the respective net amounts of $39,600 in the 248 East DDA fund and $51,900 in the 250 West DDA fund.
Support.
Got a motion by Zalad, support by Fig. Any more questions on this? No comments? Hearing none. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, the same. The resolution is approved.
All right, thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Moving on, agenda item number 9, pending business. Nothing there. Item 10, director comments.
Thank you. Just a couple of quick items. One is mentioned about the streetlight project. If you've been out in M20 lately, you'll see that some of the foundations have been installed, the streetlight foundations have been installed on the south side. Some of the underground wiring has been done. This is up near the Quality End, that area. They're working their way along, basically following the underground storm drain work that's being done. So we are seeing that begin to take place. You've probably seen the curbing is going in. So you have been told that the south side is supposed to be done by Labor Day. We'll see, but it looks like it could be close, or very close to it. And then they'll be swapping and moving over to the north half of the road. The other thing that I just want to mention about informational meetings. As was mentioned, we do need a quorum at each of our meetings. So I encourage you to please plan to be here next Tuesday, 25th. I don't expect it to be long. We will walk through the 2022 report for anybody that might view it on YouTube afterwards. But and as I said, I have not heard from any of our taxing jurisdictions. Usually Nicole Frost from the county comes, but she is very busy this year with the jail and other things, so she may or may not attend. But anyway, we do need to have quorum present for each of those meetings. Just to give you a little help with regards to informational meetings. One of the things I do is I'm a member of the Michigan Downtowns Association, which is a statewide association for primarily for directors and managers of DDA districts, also for local elected officials dealing with DDA matters. And as part of that, I serve on one of their committees. And as a member of that committee, I was asked, along with the other committee members, to take on a project to do a little bit of research. The Michigan Downtowns Association decided to use Lapeer County as essentially a sample county to collect data related to these annual reports, pull these reports from the various DDA districts in Lapeer County, and try to compile some data from that as the impacts of the DDA districts in these various communities. And I had the opportunity, I was assigned the village of Otter Lake. Has anybody heard of that? The village of Otter Lake in Lapeer County? Okay, well, you know more than I do. I had never heard of it. Turns out I'd driven by it, I don't know, several dozen times. There's two state highways going north and south, and basically it's in between the two. And it's a very nice little community, about 300 some odd people, close to 400 on a good day. And they're a little downtown. Their primary attraction is Otter Lake, which is beautiful, and a village-owned campground. And they have a DDA, and as that DDA has the same boundaries as the village, and they use the funding to support various improvements in the village. I'm talking with the officials there. I collected the information I needed, and I helped them understand that they had some things they needed to do to comply with Public Act 57. Because it took a little effort to collect the information. It was not all posted as it needed to be. They were very chagrined to learn that they needed to hold 2 informational meetings every year, because this particular DDA board meets once a year to adopt the budget. And then the projects are all done through the village, and basically at the end of the next year they adopt the budget again. So very simple for them. All of a sudden they went from 1 meeting to 3. So I understand it's a challenge to come to the extra informational meetings, but at least you don't have a case where you have tripled your obligation. So I look forward to seeing all that can be here next Tuesday, and as I said, it would definitely not be long. So that's all I have today.
Okay, thank you. Anybody else?
Thank you.
Thanks, Rodney. Short, quick meeting. So we'll call the meeting adjourned, 4:55. And we'll see everybody Tuesday again. Thank you.
Thank you.